What a week I've had, ladies and gentlemen. What a week. Let me move my mic. When it comes to DTG, direct-to-garment printing, man, you got to be a designer. You got to be a maintenance technician. You got to know how to take these machines apart, service them, replace parts in them. This week I had both my machines go down. Both of them. Arguably my fault. Look, my 3880 unit, I've wet capped it. I think that my wet cap station is leaking out and it's causing unnecessary clogs in my head overnight. So what I did was I filled a tray of head cleaner, cleaning fluid solution, and I put it on my platform and I raised it up, moved my head over to the side and raised my head up into the solution so that the head was in there. And I was gone for 2 days. Well, don't do that. That's a bad idea because apparently all of that will evaporate, leave your head clogged. So I pulled the head and cleaned it and so on and so forth. But the head is super fragile and I think it's just bite to dust. But that aside, I want to talk about DTF versus DTG. DTF is direct-to-film printing. DTG is direct-to-garment printing. Kind of sort of uses the same printers for the most part and kind of sort of uses the same ink. They will say that DTF ink is different. I have printed the DTF film with my DuPont Artistry ink, and I've had just great success with it. I haven't had any problems printing it. Once you get the settings dialed in, it prints fine. And it sticks to the shirt, no problem. You know, I haven't had any issues with that part of it. Where I'm having trouble understanding the DTF selling transfers business model is in the profit margin. So when I take a shirt, like so let's say I was going to print this shirt I'm wearing right now. Buy the shirt, say let's just use easy numbers, $2 for the shirt. I'm going to pre-treat the shirt. That's going to be, let's say, a quarter of pre-treat material. I shoot it on the shirt. I press it for 70, 90 seconds. So this whole process for me to get this shirt ready to print, we're going to say takes about 3 minutes. I load it on my Platen. I set up my artwork in the software. That's going to be no different if I'm doing a black garment. It's going to print white and black regardless. So I send it through, and let's just say it takes 7-8 minutes to print full size graphic on the shirt, and then I press it again to cure it another roundabout 3 minutes. So all in, we'll say 12 minutes, all in one shirt. And I sell that shirt for approximately, let's just say $25. Because most of my shirts are $25. That's what we're selling retail. Right? And if you're going to do wholesale, maybe you're wholesaling them for like 12 to 15, something like that. You're giving the other person their little profit bump. Right? So you're going to make like 10 to 12 bucks doing this shirt. The ink cost is going to be the same regardless of DTG or DTF. Now, the time it takes to print a transfer and the time it takes to print a shirt are almost the same. I would say most cases it is the same because you're printing the same graphic, right? Now you might have a little bit faster printer in the DTF world. You might buy a printer that's a little bit quicker than the R2400 or the 3080 that I have or the Ricoh or whatever DTG machine you're using. But let's just say for argumentative sake that it's just a little bit faster. And that shirt that I printed in 7 minutes takes you 5 minutes to print one transfer on there. You print a gang of it. You're selling them. Most people are selling them for like $2.50 a square foot. And if you're doing like, let's just say a 2 by 2 foot thing, you're at $10, right? And you still, once you print it, you still have to powder it and you still have to cure the powder, which takes time. So all in, the time savings is maybe a few minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes. The maintenance on that machine is the same because they clog and break down just as often as DTGs. The film costs you, if you buy it on a big roll, let's just say you're doing roll printing and you're paying 50 cents. a foot. You bought it by 300 foot. When I buy my DTF sheets, I'm paying about 79 cents a sheet for a 13 by 19 on there. So, how much are you really making selling the transfers? It's not that much. To me, it seems like a lot of time to print them and then ship them and then hope that the person presses them doesn't damage them, which isn't your fault. But it does seem to me like you're picking up pennies instead of printing dollars. Now, I understand that in the DTF world, it's cheaper to get started because you can buy a converted printer for $1,000 or $1,500, and you can buy the film on there. It's not too expensive, so you could probably get started. I don't feel like the outcome's the same, but I don't know. If you were using it to solely print your own shirts, then I would say it's just slightly more expensive than DTG. Slightly more expensive process per shirt. Because you're paying for the transfer, you're using the same amount of ink, and you're paying for the powder, and the only thing that we're nixing from the DTG side of it is going to be nixing the pre-treat. Everything else is the same. We still need a shirt. We still need to heat press it. We still need the ink and the printer. So, is there an advantage to using DTF? I'm not sold on that. As a sole use, I'm not sold on that. Does it have its place in the market and in the industry? Absolutely. I've used DTF to print little pockets and neck tags and sleeves where I could print 16 of them on a sheet and powder them all at the same time and cure them all at the same time, then just cut them up and just press them bam, 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 because we're only pressing them for like 15 seconds and then 5 seconds. So it does have a margin there. But if you are looking to get into DTF and thinking I'm just going to sell people a bunch of transfers, I'm going to throw it out there, man. I don't think it's going to be a profitable business. I think that is a lot of time, a lot of materials, and a lot of energy, and potentially a lot of headaches to make few dollars. My advice to you would be, if you wanted to get into the t-shirt printing business with DTF, sell t-shirts. Make t-shirts and sell t-shirts. Don't sell transfers. And if you're buying transfers, you're probably coming out on the top on that deal, honestly. The downside for you buying them is if there is an ink issue, if there's an adhesion or a powder problem, and you press it on the shirt, my guess is it's your problem. You paid for the transfer, you paid for the shirt's now no good, and you got to do it all over again, and you got to wait for your transfer to show up. So, that's my feeling on it, and I saw this because I've seen a lot of people pricing DTF transfers and talking about them on forums, and I just wanted to throw that out there. This business it can be lucrative, and it can also be expensive to run. I'm not buying new heads, and I'm not buying new main board and stuff. I am gutting printers that I've scavenged the internet for parts, and if that doesn't work, it's a risk. $1,200 print head, $150 printer. I'll risk the $150. The downtime sucks. But let me know what you think. If you're out there and you want some information on the t-shirt industry, t-shirt printing, HTV, sublimation, DTF, DTG, I've done all of these, and I can give you some tips and pointers maybe, or some insights into the business on how to get started. Till then, hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that'd be cool too. I'm going to make more content in regards to the t-shirt industry and entrepreneurship and making money and side hustles. So, leave me a like if you are struggling with your printer or struggling with your business or struggling selling things or Etsy or Amazon or on your website or Facebook. Hit me up. Let me know. Maybe I can help you out. Never know. You can also join the podcast via Zoom and we can just talk about it. We'll schedule a time. We'll get you on here. We'll get you on the air live and we'll talk about it and we will help. Maybe we can help each other. Never know. So until then, I'll see you next time.